Cari amici sportivi, welcome to yet another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here where we talk everything Milan, Serie A, upcoming maybe third spot, fourth spot, and Coppa Italia coming up as well. And well, we're not professionals,
nor do we pretend to be.
We are here live with our Batman Returns coffee mugs from 1996. And Steve, do you know that McDonald's found these way too dark and creepy, and that's why they stopped with the McDonald's, because it was too much. But salud.
Can't scare the little ones.
How you doing? Tutto a posto?
Fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic. We just did 100 kilograms of
soprasat with our special guest yesterday, Vince Gattuso. We were together and we were at the bar. By the way, this is a new setting. We're trying to do different things, guys.
I think it's more professional.
It does look more professional. And we had Vincenzi was there with us.
Nice penis over here.
It does look like a penis. Let's get straight into it because, guys, this is a special edition because, well, we're going to explain to you because at the end of this, we're just doing like a 20-25 minute podcast, and because at the end Presidente is going to be putting his
spin on things.
His special reason why he did not give us, again, presidential points. But, Steve, please enlighten the Milan Weekly Podcast listeners and viewers on the YouTube machine. Why did Presidente not grace us with his presidential points this week?
Yeah, so this week, guys, it's a bit of a strange one, to be very honest with you. Presidente, he likes to prepare, right? So next week, Valentine's Day, La Giornata delle Rose, the Day of Roses. As Presidente prepares, he purchased, on special of course, 7 dozen roses. Now, 7 dozen roses, guys. So, he could have bought the already done rose petals.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that.
No.
He bought the 7 dozen, he made his own rose petals.
That price is probably was worth it.
As he would sprinkle them on, he would lead the First Lady to his destination of choice.
All right.
Now, Presidente, always in the basement, of course, not allowed to go anywhere else in the house.
Nope.
Plus, he needs to be there because he's got to keep it away from the First Lady, right?
So honestly,
Presidente needed to have a little bit of audio, and he was torn between T-Pain or another artist of his choice. So he selected Cher.
Why did he select Cher, though?
So Presidente purchased. Take it in, guys. Take it in. Picture Presidente. He's at the club. He's popping bottles. Now, Presidente purchased a $7,000 microphone for his special insertion in the podcast.
He was nervous. He didn't want his voice to sound too monotone. Yeah. So as he listens to the song,
he thinks of auto-tune. And who,
if Cher can do it,
is the pioneer of auto-tune? Cher. So Cher, T-Pain, Cher always wins.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So of course that microphone that he purchased for $7,000 was going back in 3 days.
He found out about the return policy before buying it, obviously.
So he was in a panic because he's got to find the wire to plug this microphone into his rotary phone.
And that's why it took him a week to figure out, and that's why no presidential
This
points.
caused presidential madness, actually.
So, guys, again, a very legit reason why he couldn't give us presidential points. Cher is involved somehow. And after this podcast, guys, through the magical world of music engineering that the Presidente has, he's going to be inputting. Guys, I had a special interview with a gentleman called Charlie Stillitano, which is like one of the head guys for the ICC tournament. Went through a lot of questions, asking what goes into the development or the decision making. And please don't make fun of him too much. He really did his best.
Make fun of him, all kinds, guys. All kinds.
So we're gonna go through the game, and we're gonna go through a couple of questions once again that we got bombarded yesterday. While in the midst of this, Tommy, our beloved Tommy, decided to give us an idea of putting Conte as a center back.
Yeah.
And it just escalated from over there.
And he was confused about libero and registra and trequartista. He was caught in a time warp there, and we had to bring him back.
Bring him back. So let's talk about yesterday's game. Milan did not come out swinging, Steve, at all. And we were talking with Vince, and I go, look at the soccer gods. What's gonna happen? We're gonna have that one chance, right? And what happens? Piontek. Even as we're saying Piontek. This kind of pronunciation. But in the end, guys, if it wasn't for Donnarumma, right, we could have easily lost that game. We're going to get into the managerial decisions from Gattuso, but Piontek was there, scored that goal, but we weren't there in the first half. Second half, we tried to control a bit, but meritato for Roma, and I think they did deserve the 3 points. I was a little scared with their 7-1 win against Fiorentina. Steve, what did you take away from that game?
As a casual fan, I would be happy with the 1-1. We're not gonna win every game, guys. That's just logic, right?
And having 2 ties with Napoli and Roma is not
it's not bad, but this was a team, and as a hardcore Milanese that I am, taking advantage of the situation, the lack thereof, taking advantage of the situation where Roma got literally embarrassed 7-1 against Fiorentina. And in that Coppa Italia game, I looked at the lineup. They fielded a pretty strong lineup.
Yeah.
They just didn't show up. You knew you were going to get some sort of fight back, but Milan had to really step on their throat. They had to have come out swinging, and unfortunately, I was disappointed by that.
I agree with you in that, because in reality, we take it back. We're up 1-0. Yes, they scored right away in the second, but Donnarumma saved our asses, and it just seemed like even the changes. I remember looking at the guys at the bar, and it's like it's over 75th minute, and still had no changes. Now, was Gattuso smart to go, let's try to protect this point? Did he do maybe to come up more attacking? Çalhanoğlu was a ghost, and I like you saying Çalhanoğlu.
Well, we played with 10 men yesterday.
We played with 10 men yesterday, so.
But there's this magical saying, right? Everybody says, sapere soffrire.
Mm-hmm. To know how to suffer.
I agree with that 100%. The thing is that you cannot constantly suffer, though.
No, and we're going to get into the whole why Bakayoko given a chance in Çalhanoğlu. No, but guys, Bakayoko didn't have 3 months of chances, right?
He didn't have a year before.
And he didn't have a year before.
And Inter lost against Bologna.
Which I was very happy.
And that's what pissed me off the most.
But, Steve, when was the last time that you saw, we had Lazio dropping points. We had, Atalanta still hadn't played. Inter dropping points.
No, Lazio didn't drop points because they won 1-0 against Frosinone today.
Not Lazio, sorry. Sampdoria losing. Then it just every single time that we have an opportunity to gain points, it just seems that we can't capitalize. It's unfortunate that we had to play a Roma, but which brings us to those questions where, guys, we can't screw around anymore. These Cagliari games, these little teams, without disrespecting those teams, you need to win these. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about these kind of situations.
This is where everybody else gets it done. Atalanta today 1-0.
Yeah,
Lazio 1-0.
They got the job done.
And Cagliari respectively. That's where they get it done.
That's it. And so in the end, I guess we're going to touch on the game with all these questions from over here. So you want to just go through all of this?
Go through the questions.
Okay. So one of the questions was here. If we had all our players healthy, considering current form, what would your starting 11 be? Which our friend Carlos Ardelli replied back, Donnarumma, obviously Caldara, Romagnoli, Rodriguez, Conti, Bakayoko, Biglia, Kessi, Bonaventuro, Suso, Piontek, sorry. So he's going with a Suso just behind, like maybe a 3-4, 3-5-2, like with a Suso there. I like it, but then, who you're leaving off on, guys, there's a guy called Jack Bonaventura that's still, and he maybe he wasn't playing up to par there, but Steve, if they were all healthy,
it's a pretty good lineup. I'm just not crazy about the 3-5-2.
No,
I don't think we have the arsenal to play 3 at the back. Caldara is still a mystery, to be very honest, Drew. With everybody healthy, how does he get the nod up on, Musacchio had a bad game against Roma.
Yeah, last game was a bad one, but can you
cannot have 38 fantastic games, stellar games, right? So.
Would you go with so let's go with this, which we're gonna go through that question too. Would you go with the one? Would you go with the one striker?
Yeah, I think they have to go with the one striker just because of service and unfortunately both have a similar style of play, not completely, but they demand the ball. They need to be in the game. They need to have.
We have no other options.
Yeah, exactly. If one of them gets hurt, we're in trouble, right? But there will be scenarios, and I thought, to be very honest, Joe, he was going to go against his usual self, and I thought against Roma we were going to see Piontek and Cutrone together.
I think at the end, it would have shown a sign if he would have just tried
that
to
we're going for it.
That we're just send a sign, send a signal out there. It's we're not here to tie. We really want to solidify this fourth spot. Then again, it's very easy for us to say this the day after. Who knows what Gattuso had in mind? So that's what he was saying.
But he can't expect that we're gonna go down. Not every situation is gonna be the same. Basically, in a nutshell. If he thinks, we're down and, let me throw in two strikers, that's not always the best move.
So we'll see from over there, even Abraham saying, do you think we should sign Roma's Zaniolo in the summer? Obviously we'll like it, but he just came from Inter to those snakes over there. I seriously doubt that. And he's another midfielder, correct? How many midfielders do we need?
Yeah. But he's very impressive, though. He seems to be not scared of anybody.
Definitely. And who's laughing off that trade? 35 million for Nainggolan and Zaniolo. Pretty good chapeau there, Roma. And, Adriano asking us there, should we keep up with the formation with the one striker or two? I think he should try it once in a while, but if you solidify, like you were saying, two strikers at all times, who's your option there on the bench, right? One of them gets hurt, what are you going to do? Put Castillejo as a striker?
No, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury at the striker position.
Exactly. Question from Milan Legends.
Oh.
My question for the podcast. Having seen Roma come out of a severe loss against Fiorentina, were you expecting an actual win for Milan in this game? Were you honestly happy with today's results? Which we touched base.
Yeah, sorry about that, Milan Legends. I went ahead of schedule. I really liked your question. That's why.
But I think it's because of the result that we were in. Steve, would you say that at the beginning of the game, without seeing anything, you would have taken the 1 point?
If that was a Saturday 12 o'clock game, without knowing any of the results, yeah, I would have took the 1-1.
So but in the end, I think we came off very lucky. Yeah, we can talk about the penalty, right? They were talking about the VAR. Even Vince, he was like, no, that's not a penalty. He looks at the replay. He looks at it. Yeah, that was a penalty. That was pretty bad. And once again, VAR. Hey, please welcome. Give us.
Guess who's gonna be the indigestion of the week?
Maybe some sort of rules. Hey, we're just asking for exactly what are the guidelines over here. What are the guidelines, anyways? What else do we have over here? I have another question for the podcast. Milan Legends once again. Given current form and being 1 point closer to third place, how confident are we in taking it over? Is this a call for another Io Ci Credo moment?
I don't know if we're going to take it over. Sorry to cut you off. I'm going to answer for everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't think Inter's going to stay in third place.
If Inter stays... Now, guys, they did go through a lull last year. I think about the same time that we went on a 3-month winning streak. And in the end, nobody took advantage of that.
But the point gap was much bigger.
True. Because now you have Milan at 36, you have Roma 35, Lazio 35, Atalanta 35, you have 33, I believe, Sampdoria.
There's a lot more teams that can make a dent in that 4-point lead that they have right now over Milan. So Milan, let's just tell everybody, Milan right now is in 4th place with 1 point.
So, but we definitely need to continue on this momentum, and these small teams, guys. Let's not these guys defeat us. It seems that after Higuain have left.
There was a good message in the chat there, if I'm not mistaken. The first Landata there against Cagliari, Atalanta, and Empoli, we only took away 3 points.
Not good. And Mezzi was asking, was Gattuso at fault for not being courageous enough and play higher and finish an already dead Roma? We just touched base on this, but again, the way Roma was playing, especially in the second half of the second half. That they were bombarding us and Gigi stood on his head. it's easy to say, you risk, but
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
At that point, knowing that Atalanta still hadn't played, Lazio still hadn't played, do you want to take that chance and come up with absolutely 0 points, right? So it's hard to say.
He's away as well. We have to remember that too. He's away. It's circumstances. Just knowing the results, and Inter losing and trying to get closer to that third spot and making them play every game just as nervous as we're going to play every game from now on. You know what? I personally am that type of fan where I like to see the team go for it, but I would have probably been pissed off if they would have lost, right? So I can't have my cake and eat it too. So I'm content with the 1-1. Do I blame him? No. I'm blaming him on the changes. I hope you get to the changes because I'm gonna just be pissed off again.
Well, I don't know if anybody asked. Tommy's basically, he's coming off with these. If we were wearing black and white, I got those calls.
Conspiracy theory.
Just like the Juventus of the NFL yesterday. I heard that they won some sort of super game, super something.
Super Bowl.
That's the way they explained it to me. They go, they're the Juventus of the NFL. So I'm like, okay, so they're that good that everybody hates them. I get it. Let me see what other questions. Conte, Çalhanoğlu. Okay, so the question from Marco. This Tommy, what is
Tommy killed our chat.
Yeah. Tommy was.
Tommy killed our chat, and we're even call him the chat killer.
Yeah. But he's always entertaining. But here at the end would be. My God, how many messages? Okay, so.
Let's go. While you're looking for those messages, I would like to discuss the changes.
Go right ahead.
So, after we take an almost instant 1-1, after we go in at halftime 1-0, seems like people forgot that the game started. So, Zaniolo scores at the 46th minute. Musaki was dented on that one.
Yeah.
His first change is better than Borini Paquetá, but it's Castillejo Paquetá.
Paquetá has been playing 90 minutes solid almost every game, has he not?
No, he's not. He's always been getting sub for Borini.
But Castillejo is good. Has he got the legs?
I don't mind introducing Castillejo.
Yeah.
Take out goddamn Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He was a disaster. Vinny. It was bad. Crosses missed.
So
simple touches missed.
So the question that Alex, our beloved Alex, is asking us at the beginning of the season, nobody was happy with Bakayoko and we wanted to send him back to Chelsea on the first flag. Now we think exactly the opposite. Should we support Gattuso regarding Çalhanoğlu, hoping that insisting with him he can turn out as good a player as a potentially can be, that we saw him only occasionally, or that's it, only bench? In case, Alex, I think Bakayoko had maybe a string of 6 to 7 games where after 6-7, okay, he didn't. I remember you saying he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, and then better.
No, at the beginning, when he started, he looked lost, and unfortunately, sometimes it's not always on the player that he looks lost.
Yeah,
I've seen multiple interviews. For some reason, he's not picked up Italian yet. I hope he's gonna pick it up. It could be a lack of communication and feeling a little bit lost confidence. I get it. I'm okay with the 6-7 games. I'm okay with the 6 games, 7 games.
And remember, we had no choice.
Yeah.
We had no choice. Çalhanoğlu, we do have a choice.
We do have a choice. So I'm okay with, no problem. Presidente hit it on the head in the chat as well, where he said, and I get it on the business side, Milan have no choice to get Hakan going. Whatever their decision is with him.
If not, we're going to just get 5 million for this guy.
Exactly. If they want to sell him, he's going to have to play and he's going to have to perform. If we want to keep him, he's going to still have to perform.
So I think he's had his chance. It's been over 2 months. And did you see how Alex asked a question to the Milan podcast and the Presidente answered?
Yeah.
I think he's trying to sneak in over there, Presidente. And then we have Marco. During this post-match press conference, Gattuso said we played as we should have, and he was happy with the way we played. Can you please help me understand what was he happy about? I just feel that in tough, winnable games, our team is never ready. Gattuso has been at Milan over a year now, and I don't see an improvement in our approach to important games. Perhaps I'm being too critical. I think you're a bit too critical, Marco, because even if Milan was not...
No!
Milan was not the better team, but we are used to playing a lot shittier than we played on Sunday.
100%, but he cannot go... We killed Montella for years.
Yeah.
For going into the post-match conference and just saying the usual generic bullshit. He cannot be happy with that game. You didn't come out with the 3 points. You came out with a tie. You suffered. He's the one who says, sapere soffrire. I get that, Gattuso. But Marco hits a really deep and touching point. It hits Milan Twitter everywhere.
But it's been a lot better than the Milan of 6 months ago, over a year ago. I'm not saying that we played extraordinary, but it just seemed that we didn't seem all over the place. You know, like these typical games where, yes, Roma had their chances.
Yeah,
they were the
they
better
hit the
team.
post.
Donnarumma stood on his head. We had a penalty, you know, maybe one of these games where a penalty goes your way, and then you have no business winning those games.
It could have easily ended up 2-2.
And every pundit out there has said it. That was a clear penalty. Like, you know, the guy's not even playing the ball, this and that. But guys, that's Serie A. What do you want to do?
But with Marco's comment, if they continue this way, it's going to be hard for them, you know, winnable games that we're not ready for.
Yeah. So
those winnable games that we're not ready for and we drop points pushes us further and further away from a Champions League spot.
Okay, so the thing is I wanted to read the Milan Club Dublin's post, and I found it interesting. That's why I screenshotted it.
Whoa! Big technology.
Our man of the match goes to referee Fabio Maresca for producing one of the most incredible performances on a football pitch in recent years. He didn't let a basic knowledge of the rules of football or common sense stand in his way as he powered on to produce a point for both teams. The results could have gone either way, but Maresca, blinded by his own ego, produced cards for dissent while allowing blatant fouls for both teams go unpunished. He very much commanded the flow of the game. I took it because I didn't think of it in that, like, other than that penalty, but no, he was right. A lot of cards, a lot of, like, you know, some, like, we're just asking for consistency.
Someone also tweeted out, and it was a fantastic find on their part, and again, I can't give credit because I don't know who tweeted it out, but they had a video clip of Bakayoko against Bologna and his second foul to get a red card, compared to Pellegrini's second foul on, if I'm not mistaken, either Paquetá or Ananchoglu, Chanabalabalubulu, to get absolutely no card and not be sent off. That consistency, you know, and we were having a discussion, I think, you know, the ref should be punished. Yeah, I get that they're not going to work next week. But there has to be some kind of accountability. You know, dissent, I get it, yes, but this is the game, my friends. It changed. If you're not going to be man enough to make a decision that might or might not impact the game, then don't take out your frustration on dissent.
It's very well put from over there, but guys, the
boom.
But thank you to Milan Club Dublin. Always, they were featured as well on the Forza Italian football. They were featured as a very big club.
No, not Forza Italian football.
Yeah,
Forza Italian football.
Like you know, fans abroad and stuff.
Good
so
for them.
If we take a look, right? So we're saying that the next games we have Cagliari,
Atalanta,
and Empoli.
Cagliari at home, Atalanta away, Empoli at home. Is that what it is?
Milan, Empoli, yeah. So, guys, we need 7 points out of those 9. I'll take a tie at Atalanta, this and that. I'll take it. I don't want it. I'll take it. I'm saying, but we need to win those Cagliari, Empoli. We cannot come out scared, and it comes up to this point. Did you notice? You know, they were saying Juventus is the first time I think in 10 years they've let 6 goals go past them in 2 games.
Yeah.
Did you notice how Parma played, knowing there's no Chiellini, knowing there's no Bonucci? Why is it different where people, let's say, Juventus, I'm convinced, Steve, if Chiellini and Bonucci were there, at 2-0, they would have stopped playing. And it just seems like, you know what, why can't people, even Milan, why can't you just attack these kind of teams? Like, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Right? I know that maybe in this delicate position, it's easier said than done, but you need to change it up, Gattuso. You know, if it is a 0-0 game at the Cagliari or Atalanta, do what you gotta do. Go for it and make them change their tactics on you. Steve, obviously we still have President is going to do his magic and put in the interview, and guys, give him some support, right?
Yeah.
And the YouTube is only going to be us, but you know, the audio version there tomorrow with that $7,000 microphone.
Or maybe he adds it to the video with just a picture of himself, and he plays the interview.
I like it. Closing remarks for this week.
Indigestion, VAR.
How many weeks
Brioche, Donnarumma.
But VAR, are we gonna give him the indigestion of the year? I think the VAR. I think that's what's gonna happen because it's
3 weeks in a row.
And even England today, did you see? It was James Milner. I think he was about 8 feet offside, and they still counted the goal and this and that. Guys, this is
EPL doesn't need VAR.
No, they don't need the VAR.
Everybody's got to go check out Gab Marcotti.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
fantastic. He's saying the truth for all of us, my friends.
Yeah,
you got to give people like that support, man. He does a lot for the sport. He does a lot for Serie A. He does a lot for Calcio. And we give him a rub. Yeah, exactly, for sure. And in this scenario here, he's defending the beautiful part of the game.
Exactly.
Being different doesn't necessarily mean you're doing things wrong.
It was basically like, you know, give him a chance. It's like he was comparing, and he's just trolling the English guys, making these faces. And I know it's all for the show, and they probably like go out for a beer, but Mr. Marcotti, again, chapeau to you as well. And guys, we'll see you next week. Sorry, it's a very short one, but who knows? Maybe during when's our Coppa Italia game? Is it next week? Is it? I don't remember.
No, we're gonna have to check the schedule.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a quickie video during the week. I go see Steve. He needs a new cell phone. He's gonna come and see me. Maybe we'll do a live one from there. And thanks for the
coordinating tops tonight, guys.
You know, like we took our twins. Like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. That's exactly what, you know, we're exactly the exact same.
I'm Arnold.
Obviously, I'm Danny DeVito. Ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao.